Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a new moon in Cancer reading for you. Although it's a few days after the summer solstice and the new moon, I'm still feeling the energy, and this is especially poignant for you, Cancer. I've pulled from the deck the Ten of Cups as your overall energy, and this so beautifully encapsulates the idea of your energy at this time. You're at a peak of emotional depth, richness, comfort with your intuition, sensitivity to those things that are of interest to you, that you surround yourself with. So the Ten of Cups here feels very protected. It feels very much engaged in the world, but from a very selective perspective, so that you have already identified who gives back to you. And this is important because you give so much energy. It's important that the loving, supporting energy be able to help you to regenerate, reciprocate that energy so that you are not depleted, but you're in a place of complete abundance around your world. And we're not talking about physical wealth or abundance, but we're talking about emotional abundance. You're good with all the people in your environment, and you are comfortable in your place. You're grateful for the community you have, and that fills your life. At the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. So you've had to come a very, very long way to protect yourself from the various kinds of resistors and detractors that have often criticized you or expected you to be different than you are. So this is a result of your somehow appearing to not fit in. This can be into a family system, into a work setting, into a community. There's some way in which you've had to understand and learn about your difference in a way that was empowering to you. And as you learned how connected you are through your specific differences, that has helped you to release the internalized criticism or dismissal that you may have experienced from others, particularly loved ones. Those are the ones who sometimes unintentionally harm us the most. And you have really learned to deflect that energy and to recognize that others' problems with you are their problems, not yours. I'm going to pull a crystal oracle, and the Prey Knight popped up, really taking things quite spontaneously, and the key word is trust. I trust myself and the divine flow of the universe. This is such a beautiful, beautiful gem, and it feels very Cancerian to me, particularly the theme of trust. We can repair relationships, but a sense of trust is something that is almost innate. You have an intuitive radar for those that are trustworthy, and you are able to understand in some ways the emotional capacity that some others have or don't have, and you can respect that. You have enough love to honor your friends that are struggling even more desperately with a sense of being excluded than you are. You understand that, and you make allowances for it because you are generous. You feel the tenderness inside. This is a general reading. Cancer is not going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. If you find that this reading resonates for you, please like this video, share it with others if you feel inclined to do so, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the support and the energy that you give me. So thank you in advance. So with the present, we have the Page of Wands. What a wonderful liberation you're experiencing right now. You can be experiencing the sense of wonder, newness, a new direction, a new project, a new idea that you're enthusiastic about pursuing. It can also be the result of you letting go of some of the ill effects of relationships that were imbalanced in some way in your life. But you feel an enthusiasm, a renewal from your efforts and from the hard work, I must say, that you have done and that you continue to do to deflect the kinds of negative feedback that you get from the world. And that can include pity, that can include being felt being made to feel as though you are unable in some way to do better. So this is clarified by the Eight of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Beautiful. Wow. So the message continues to be a lot of resistance, a lot of criticism, a lot of shoulds, a lot of voices in your head, a lot of thoughts about what you should do, how you should structure this new interest, the directions you should move in, the advice that you haven't asked for. It feels as though it's really hemming you in and taking you out of the joy of this experience. This is almost like trying to figure everything out before you get started. And yet the Ace of Wands is here, indicating to you that you've already begun. Just by setting out an intention, being your natural, enthusiastic, joyful self, being excited about where this opportunity is going to take you, where this idea can lead, you've already begun. You're already pursuing something new. This feels again like a renewal. It feels like it can be experienced as a physical renewal for some of you, a healing. And even though it may not have healed every ache and pain, it has given you a sense of a positive forward motion from wherever you are, and a sense of gratitude that you have what you need to accomplish your goals. But there is a lot of information around you that seems to be hemming you in some way, taking away a sense of liberty that you're experiencing. In the past, the Hanged Man. And right away, I feel a sense of you waiting on something to happen. You having to wait. It's almost like a waiting to exhale kind of feeling, where something was anticipated to happen and you had to let it follow its course. So there is some kind of a release that has given you a new perspective, that has encouraged you or demanded that you see things differently, perhaps than the way you had seen them in the past, that required you to pull into yourself, to take a moment to understand the necessity of detaching yourself from what was going on around you in order to be able to make decisions from a secure place, a place of integrity, and also to be able to appropriately allow the situation to unfold, to develop, for the shoe to drop. And here It's clarified by the Seven of Swords again and the Strength card. Interesting. Aquarius got something like this. Yeah, the two Seven of Swords. There's a lot. There's almost a story here of you having to stand your ground in a family event, a family situation. Perhaps you were taking care of someone and their family wanted you to do things in a certain way, or disregarded or dismissed or undermined the kind of care that you were offering. However, you stood strong. You were not able to enforce everything that you thought was right, but you understand that that wasn't necessary. You were able to stand strong in your ability to monitor or oversee the energy that was being applied, even if it was outside of your wishes. So I know the story is becoming very specific, but it feels as though your ability to already be in integrity with yourself helped you to stay in integrity despite whatever activities were happening to resist your wisdom, your perspective, your decisions. And yet you were able to pull yourself out of the situation sufficiently so that you did not take anything personal, really. You really saw it in a larger context of supporting whatever all members were attempting. In the case of caretaking someone in particular, you understood that it was unproductive to quibble over certain decisions that were less important than the really big decisions, which you were able to remain clear and consistent with. In the future, the Two of Swords. I'm getting a sense of almost guilt that you have an opportunity before you, perhaps that someone or others don't have, or you see a pathway forward and you feel guilty that you may be leaving others who depend on you to pursue this opportunity. Whatever the situation is, whether it's a choice, whether it's a decision, you definitely feel yourself at a crossroads of sorts. And one of the beautiful things that I have learned about Hecate is this idea of a goddess that is often associated with witches, Wicca, that her ceremony precedes the new moon. And in this case, it happens at a crossroads specifically. It happens as at dusk, dawn, that sort of as this turning to nighttime, because power is unleashed, and the kind of power that is being invited through this ritual is gratitude for what was given, what was offered, what was accomplished during the former moon. So the dark of the moon, 3 days before the new moon, is the time of her greatest power in offering this gratitude, this appreciation, this opening up and clearing out the old lessons, making way for the new moon energy. Somehow that seems relevant to this particular crossroads energy that I'm sensing. Two of Swords is clarified by the Two of Swords. Oh dear. And what card? The Hermit card. Beautiful. And now the story turns into one where you are possibly moving off to some kind of retreat or opportunity to really be on your own. The Two of Swords here, I believe, is pointing you in the direction of your own counsel, of your own wisdom, of your own authority. The need to reestablish that after some events in which you are aware that your life is starting anew in some significant way. This ability to reaffirm who you are is critical right now as you are making choices about the way in which you are pointing your intention, your desire to manifest. It's here, and perhaps the wisdom is to take time to cultivate a sense of clear intentionality, of clear desire before moving forward. I'm going to finish this reading with a Seed and Sickle Oracle, and I'm absolutely loving this Oracle deck, and I pulled the Tulip for you, and I'm going to look up the Tulip, and number 14 reads, "A Persian tale tells of a laborer who fell in love with a princess. To deter him from pursuing his daughter, the king set him an impossible task. But upon seeing him near to completing it, the king told him that the princess had died. The workman, distraught, killed himself, and from the blood the first tulips grew. Don't let the lies of others deter you from achieving your goals. You know how capable you are, even if others doubt you. Don't be fooled by the falsehoods they spin to keep you from greatness." So apt. I hope this was helpful, Cancer. If you're interested in more content like this, check this out. And until next time, dear Cancer, namaste.